Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Loser Tuesday edition of the JP Peterson Show.
Just for them, not for us.
Are we you losers?
We're winning.
Bunch of losing going on around here. What the hell's going on around here?
Winning.
A lot of losing going on around here. But calm down, everybody. Calm down, especially you Bucs basement.
Good Lord.
The sky is
already.
not falling. We're still 5-2. Jeez, oh, Pete's, guys.
Bucs
Welcome
basement
into
is
the JP
causing me to
Peterson Show.
drink this morning, JP.
Oh, are you shooting it up? I thought you just said you had a consultation with Lugo.
He didn't say stop doing Jaeger in the mornings.
He did not say stop.
He did not say it, but he didn't say it.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome into the JP Peterson Show, where we talk 2 hours of Tampa Bay sports all the freaking time. And you know what? We're not a scam. You think about it. Everything else in your life, it's a scam. But this FanStream sport, this is about as pure as you're going to get of independent journalism, non-scamming shit going on. This show right here. Think about your life and everything is a scam. This show right here, you get what you freaking pay for, people. I don't know, I think that came out right, but it's not a scam. How are you, everybody? It's a tough night last night. We got Bucs coverage. TJ Rives is going to join us this morning at about 11:15. He's up early and ready to go, so we will have him on. Yep. And we got lots to talk about. There was a lot that happened in this game last night, so you guys jump in the comments. We'll get to everything this morning. And so we don't have Scott Reynolds cannot join us this morning because he's got work to do over at Pewter Report, but we'll get him on a little bit later on in the week. We want your opinions of what happened last night. So you can do that by getting in the chat on X at the JP Peterson Show, on YouTube at FanStream Sports Tampa Bay, Ohio, DFW, all that stuff. You guys know where to go to get on the show, most of you. And if you don't, just go to Twitter. Go to YouTube.
Always there.
Where else can they comment? They have a text line.
To text line 214-937-0569. You can get right in if you're listening live on the app. But if you're watching on one of the video streams, we would love for you to comment so we could read it here on the air and put it up on the screen for you.
Absolutely. I think Thomas Casper just summed it all up. We can end the show here. Inaccurate passes. That is all. You're right. Goodbye, everybody.
That was
Good night. Drive safe.
My biggest notation of the entire night, and I think I even tweeted it out a couple times. I've never seen this season or even in his Buccaneers tenure, Mayfield that bad. I mean, he was missing guys left and right, and that truly, there's your difference right there. If he hits a couple of those deep passes, this game's way closer.
Yeah, totally different deal. This is the difference between good quarterbacks and bad quarterbacks. This is a difference between accurate quarterbacks and not so accurate quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield was not the MVP Baker that we saw this year. Why? I think there's a couple reasons, and it starts with him. We'll get to the defense. There's a lot that went on, but I think it starts with Baker Mayfield. I thought his motion last night was different. I thought he was coming a little bit more over the top, and for a couple of reasons. Number one, he had nowhere to go. The Lions did a tremendous job of pushing the pocket forward and collapsing from the outside and not leaving that space, that gap that Baker loves to shoot up to his right, get out to his right, make plays. You go back, and we've said this so often. You watch Baker play, I would say a good 45% of his plays are off schedule, out of the pocket. And the Lions did a tremendous job of game planning against Baker Mayfield. And this becomes a problem. Everybody, the Saints are looking at this going, okay. So we don't necessarily have to sack Baker Mayfield. We just got to crowd him because Baker is still 6'1", and I think that was a little bit of why you saw him coming over the top so much. Yeah, how many passes were batted down last night? 3?
Oh, at least, yeah.
3 or 4? Yeah, 3 or 4 were batted down last night. because the closer you get to Baker and crowd him, the less easy it is for him to get the ball out over the top. So I think he was almost trying to change his motion a little bit to get the ball out because he didn't have windows. And when you don't have windows and you're a smaller quarterback, you gotta kind of manipulate yourself, your body. And Baker does a tremendous job at this all the time. Last night, he struggled. Yeah. He just struggled and to get the ball over the front of the guy, and there was nowhere for him to go to get out into open space. If you go back and look, he was constantly looking to step up, and he couldn't, so then he had to go backwards, and that's not his normal thing. And when he got out, he made some plays. But making plays from the pocket last night was hard. And I credit Detroit, number one, for the pass rush. The pass rush was really, really good. Now, you could also say the offensive line did not hold up. And I thought the offensive line played a very poor game in pass protection last night. I thought Hutchinson and who's the big guy in the middle they got back last night? He was a menace. He was a menace. Yeah. He was abusing people up front. The offensive line just did not play well last night. They didn't open up holes in the run game, and they weren't good in pass protection. So, yes, Baker's balls were inaccurate. Did I say that right? Baker's balls? He was inaccurate last night. I think it had to do with the pass rush, and I think he's a little banged up. He said it after the game. He said, "I'm banged up, but I'll be all right. I'll be ready to go on Sunday against the Saints." And so he's banged up. I think his legs are bothering him. When you have whatever's going on with his right knee, that's his plant leg. So whenever you have something going on there, that's going to make you inaccurate as well. So accuracy was a big problem last night. Guys weren't getting open because, listen, this is what I would do if I had a bunch of backups at defensive back. I'd say, guys, we're going to hold our asses off tonight. And if we get called, fine. If we don't, even better. They were allowing a lot of clutching and grabbing last night. And if you can clutch and grab receivers, you can be a special teams defensive back and play well. Now, the officiating last night was ridiculously awful. The adjudication of the game was awful. And John Hussey, this guy's got an issue. He wants to control everything. He thinks he's got it under control. He doesn't. That was a debacle last night of officiating. Dude, that's so many levels.
That replay that they overturned and then overturned. I have never seen anything like that ever since replay started back in the day. For them to overturn a call and then go back and go. And by the way, they were right the first time. That was a first down.
100%.
It was a first down. And I don't know where the call came. Once you make a decision and make the announcement on the field to go back and take it away, I have never heard of that before.
Plus, he challenged the catch. He specifically challenged, or Hussey said, Detroit is challenging whether the player completed the catch to the ground. That's what he said, right? He didn't say we were challenging the spot. He said, we're challenging whether the player complete. Okay, so you make a specific challenge. Now we're going back and looking at the spot? We weren't challenging the spot. You're not allowed to do that. He made a specific challenge. Look, when he said the ball was fumbled, on fourth down, only the player that fumbled the ball can recover the ball moving forward, so we move it back to the spot of the ball, which is a first down. That's the correct call. Let's move on with the game. Now, if you want to challenge something, fine. What are you challenging? Oh, whether guess what? He completed the catch. Oh, but we've noticed during the completion of the catch that he may not have been across the marker. Well, did you notice the holding on the right side? Because we could have called that too. If we're going to go back and look at stuff now and everything is open, because we challenged this, but everything's open now? Okay, well, what about the holding on the right side over here?
Unbelievable.
What about the hit to the head of the quarterback on the follow-through? I mean, there's Pandora's box. We can look at a lot of different things. And here's the other part to that. He got the first down. What angle did you – we got a new angle. What angle is it? I'd like to know, because the angle we saw down the line, he got the first down. And if you're going to overturn it, we need what? Indisputable evidence. Did you see indisputable evidence that he didn't make it across the line? By the way, what is the line? Because you didn't spot the ball and do a virtual measurement. You never did that. So where's the line?
Because the yellow line is not official.
No, the yellow line is not official. And the down the line shot certainly looked like it's where the ball hit, when his knee hit, where was the ball? And by the way, you couldn't get a indisputable angle of actually when the knee hit and where the ball was. And here's the biggest part of this, Timmy, that just, if I can go on another rant, you're killing the game. Like, get on with the fucking football game. Every fucking, and you know what else? In college football, we're stopping the game every 2 minutes for a 4-minute review.
It's ridiculous.
It's like, at this point, I don't care. Can we just play football? I'm so tired of looking and listening to officials and arguing over this shit every goddamn game. Can we just play football? I mean, you and me are old enough to know, listen, and at this point, let's go back to missing calls. If you miss a call, I don't give a rat's ass. Because at this point, I'm so tired of officials and reviews and adjudication and this rule and that rule. We changed this rule, so now it's this and now it's that. And if it's a catch, I'm done. I'm done with all of it. Let's go back to 1975, and the guy makes the call. Let's play football. If you miss the call, who cares? Oh, well, his knee wasn't quite down, but we're talking about fractions here, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's and you don't even know if you're getting it right. It's like, well, we do all this to make sure we get the call right. You're not getting it right. We're doing all this bullshit and you're not getting it right. We were better just using the humans and moving on with the football game. And when a play happened, we celebrated. Now the play happens and we go, oh, well, I don't know. Was that blade of grass? Did that ball touch the blade of grass? Was his knee? Well, I don't know. I mean, his shirt is kind of hanging down, so it kind of hit the ground. Is it the shirt, or is it the wrist, or is it the forearm? I don't know. Was Bucky's wrist hit here, or was it the forearm? I don't know. Let's go into. Who cares? Let's get on with the game. The ball hit the ground. It caused the fumble. Let's move on. Buccaneers ball. Let's go. It's just it's absolutely for 90% of you guys probably listening. You don't remember football before replay. It was so glorious.
It was great.
It was glorious. We played the game.
And we knew what a catch was.
This is not supposed to be what this is. And by the way, now we're running into all these issues about the NFL clearly is changing games over plays. And everybody's like, oh, that's not the reason we lost the game. Actually, it is the reason you lost the game. Because all these games come down to 4 or 5 plays, and if the refs are fucking up 5 of them, that's the reason you lost the game. I'm so tired of it. It's ridiculous. It's like I'm watching a football game, and I got to have 3 attorneys next to me to figure out what's going on. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All right, rant concluded, but I'm over it. I'm over it, and I'm ready to go back to just letting them make the calls and getting rid of replay because it's killing the game. It's killing the flow of the game. It kills the credibility of the game. The players don't know what's going on. The refs, and nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows. I mean, with the fact that we have to come back game after game after game and argue about this shit instead of football should tell the NFL. And you know what? The NFL doesn't care because you know what? We keep watching. The numbers are off the freaking charts. We just keep watching. So, all right, let's get back to the game. Sorry. Not sorry.
Oh, don't apologize.
So,
that might go viral.
Yeah, Baker was inaccurate. And there were reasons for that. And now you ask yourself, well, does this carry over? Are the Saints going to do the mush rush and try to? Yes, they are. 100%. Everybody's going to do it. And now the book on Baker is keep him in the pocket, hem him in, make him beat you from the pocket. So 2 things have to happen. Number 1, you got to be more stout up front. You cannot allow that much penetration because Baker, in order to be accurate, much like Tom Brady, has to be able to step into his throws. He's not an Aaron Rodgers where he can flick the wrist off the back foot, or a Mahomes who's very good at that as well. He's not, I don't think he's big enough. That's not him. He can do it. Now, don't get me wrong. He can sidearm it. He can come from a lot of different angles, but to make a throw, a 25-yard, the ones he's so good at, into the honey holes on the cover two, the deep ends, the deep outs that he's so good at, he's got to have a ability to step into the throw, clear the hips, and have a full yard and a half to get the ball off. And when he doesn't have that, he's going to be inaccurate. So that's number one. The offensive line has got to be better. Number two, guys weren't getting open. That is a product of Mike Evans not being in the game. That is a product of this is why these receivers are paid so much.
Well, Mike wasn't getting open when he was on the field. He had 4 targets before he left the game and 0 catches. And he was thrown. Baker threw at him when he was heavy in coverage.
Yeah.
So,
well, they were bad throws, number one. There wasn't a whole lot of separation, but Mike doesn't get a whole lot of separation.
He doesn't need it usually.
He doesn't need it because of his catch radius. So those are usually completed passes, and Baker's on the money. 4 targets, I'd say 3 of them should have been completed. And I think they were all bad throws. I don't think Mike and the last one Mike actually caught until he was concussed and hitting the hard turf. So, yeah.
And those of you in the comments, that was not a legal catch, by the way. Yes, he caught it until he hit the ground and was concussed, and then obviously you could see him go limp. Yeah. So, but it's back in the day, that was a catch.
Yeah. Now you got the complete the catch Super Bowl bullshit
touchdown against the Broncos. Yeah. For the Cowboys, and that was a catch as he dropped the ball when he hit the ground. But nowadays, you got to hold on, and I don't know why. I don't know why they mess with it, but
I don't either.
That was not a catch. You know, if he was not concussed, he would have held on to it. It would have counted, and life would be peaches. But
yes, you were concussed, and the pain of breaking your clavicle as you hit the ground as well.
You just knew something was up. Oh my gosh, that was brutal to watch.
Yeah, and he was out. He was out cold when he hit the turf. He was out cold, and then when he came to, he felt the immense pain of a broken clavicle. And we don't know how long he's going to be out. Broken bones are 6 to 8 weeks. Could he come back late in the season? Yeah, maybe. That's a maybe, but it depends on the severity.
Todd Bowles said likely towards the end of the season, and that was the most details we got. And we got, I don't even know that, man. A collarbone. Oh God. And the concussion. I don't know, man.
Well, the concussion will, it's 6 to 8 weeks. A lot can change.
Yeah.
So I kind of look at it as, at least he'll come back and have healthy hamstrings. And listen, this is one loss, and you get a loss, and everybody's like, "Oh, the sky's falling. This is our four game losing streak coming to, here it comes." And we'll talk about that. They got to avoid that, no question about it. The Saints this week in New Orleans. That is by no means a gimme, not even close. That's going to be a dogfight. Trust me on that one. We all know that if you're a Bucs fan. So yeah, there's stuff to worry about, but we got to right the ship, and you got to look at the things that happened in this game that other teams are going to do, and how are you going to combat that? You got to be more stout up front, number one, and guys got to get open. I thought Josh Grizzard, as a play caller last night, probably learned a few lessons. They needed to lean on the run game a little bit more last night, but even that wasn't working. But I think you needed to stick with it a lot more. You got behind, and it felt like you were out of the game, but you're not really. The Lions and the Bucs defense came up with turnovers, got the sack fumble, got the interception, forced a missed field goal, I guess we could say, got a 4th down stop. So those are all good things defensively, kept you in the ball game. You were outgained 200 yards in the first half, but you were still in the ball game. Even in halftime at 14-3, you don't need to abandon the run. And I thought Josh abandoned the run a little bit too quickly.
JP, they registered 12 rushing plays in the whole game.
Yeah, you can't do that. 12. And I know you're behind, but you got a whole half to catch up, and you're getting the ball at 14-3 coming out of the half. That is no reason to panic and to give up on the run game. And especially when you saw that pass rush was ferocious and Baker was not comfortable. You've got to lean on the run game there. And maybe you go jumbo and you start pushing them around. That's what I would have done. And I think Josh, if he looks back on it, is going to say, yeah, we probably should have done that because we were not winning this game dropping back that many times. You had to force the run. And sometimes you could do that with numbers. And it's not like Detroit is the best run defense in the world. If you just leaned on them, maybe you get something going there. You slow down the game a little bit. You drive the field, and you get back in the game. So that's not a given. That's not a given at all because that was a great atmosphere last night. Detroit's a really, really good football team, and their defense was playing their ass off. I'm not saying that would have worked, but I think as he goes back and looks at it, maybe that's something that might be an adjustment that he would make because you weren't going to throw the ball last night to any great degree. Not with that, without allowing the clutching and grabbing, the relentless pass rush. Yeah.
When you carry the ball 12 times and you force Baker to throw 50 times, that is way too much pressure on him and your offensive line in pass blocking. That's especially when you saw that it was failing. And look, I know you said early on they've now there's a blueprint on how to rattle Baker, on how to crowd him in the pocket, to maybe rattle him. I while that might be true, I don't know that any other teams got the personnel to do what Detroit did last night.
That's true.
Detroit. I certainly don't think the Saints have the personnel to do what Detroit did to this offensive line. And of course it's a division game. They're the Saints. I get it. Anything can happen, but I don't care how much the Saints try to match that blueprint from last night. They don't have the people to do it. And I don't know that anybody else
absolutely
does.
True. Hutchinson in that group and the linebackers really, really good. Really, really good. And that front seven is really good. And they executed what they needed to do. So in terms of containing Baker. So I think you're absolutely right. But these are the adjustments that you are going to have to make as the season goes along. And Josh Grizzard is a neophyte play caller. He's done really, really well.
I don't care what
but these are just lessons that he's just got to learn. Thank you. Good one. Yeah. So listen, no, this is not like, oh, now there's a blueprint out there. No, the Bucs now adjust, and they have the talent and the ability to do so, and the coaching staff. So yeah, we adjust. Okay. Second thing, Jahmyr Gibbs, 218 total yards from scrimmage. It's just in 15 years, we've only had one other player go for 200 plus on Monday Night Football and 2 tutties.
Seems like
he was a problem. Now, Elijah Roberts by the way, Penei Sewell was allowed to hold all night long. He was on some type of referee exemption, I believe. Yeah. He could hold and club people in the back of the head as he did to Hassan Reddick, and there was not going to be nothing called. I know, Jesus Christ. On the long run for Gibbs, he absolutely holds Elijah Roberts in the hole, 100%. And it's easy to see how you don't get the call there, and that's a touchdown. That's a 78-yard touchdown. If Elijah Roberts is not held there, he either makes the play or knocks him into somebody else, and it's a 5-yard gain.
Him down.
Yeah, something. I mean, now, listen, Servassier Dennis is an issue, and Levante David is an issue. They need a linebacker. They need a linebacker bad. They need an inside linebacker bad. They are not equipped right now. Levante's, I'm not saying he's playing terrible because he's not playing terrible, but he's getting no help from Servassier, who I thought he had a good game last week. He was on the come. This was a disaster. And, great game plan, by the way. The Lions had that when you blitzed, they had the little Sewell would get out in front. They'd come in and hit the linebacker, crack the linebacker so you can't get out to Jahmyr Gibbs. And with Gibbs' speed, just like Bijan Robinson, very similar plays that we've seen, right? He's going to take it to the house. And we talked all week about tackling in open field. They did not tackle well in the open field. We talked all last week about that, and they did not do it. And Jahmyr Gibbs went wild. And it exposes how bad the Bucs linebacker play is right now. And if Jason Light's going to make a move, 2 things. Inside linebacker, go find an experienced inside guy who can make plays in the run game and the pass game. I haven't looked at the list of guys that might be available, but as teams fall out of contention, we got to look at their inside linebackers and their contract situations and see what's up. Because we got to find somebody. Servassier is not, He's still young. He's really, really young. I don't want to write him off totally, but he's struggling. And Levante usually can make up for it, but he can't. He used to make up for Devin White all the time because of his, but I don't know if he's got the speed and the ability to make up for Servassier anymore. He's playing his job. He's doing his job just fine. Levante's playing, but he used to be able to make up for the other guy, and he can't do that anymore. This guy's got to hold his weight and be a playmaker, and I think this defense would be tremendously better if they got someone experienced and a good tackler fundamentally. Like you saw on I think it was the other 28-yard Gibbs play where Servassier gets out there, and he's got Zion on the outside. So, and he does a Devin White. He runs, high all the way over in a full sprint. You can't do that. Linebacker 101, bro. You got to break down. You got to break down, hem him in, use Zion and the sideline as a tackler, and it's in a 6-yard gain. Instead, you run past it and you knock Zion off. You block your own guy. It's just it's fundamentals. Block, break down, come in under control, hem him in, and make the tackle. But we've seen him do this a couple times now. So,
by the way, not to change topics, did you see what Devin White did in Las Vegas?
He's been playing well, hasn't he?
16 tackles with 6 solo it was a 31-0 blowout by the Chiefs, but it wasn't because of Devin White. Where was that guy?
When you get 31 points scored on you, those might be a lot of empty tackles there. 20, you're tackling guys 12 yards downfield that you were supposed to cover, or 20 yards. It's a tackle, but you didn't do your job. That was a lot. Devin White got a lot of those. So I'd have to go look at the film. But, when you lose 31-0 and they're doing whatever they want offensively,
he's been their best defensive player in the secondary in the last 3 weeks.
He's got the tools. Yeah. It's always been here.
Pete Carroll's getting something out of him that he left behind in Tampa. That's for sure. Yeah, what? Good kudos to him.
He maybe he finally grew up and realized, maybe I should start playing team ball and not playing hero ball.
Hopefully so.
But enough of him. So,
apologies.
We got a lot of comments to get to. You guys have great questions and comments, and we're going to hit a break and come back and hit all of these.
And we got Todd Bowles audio from this morning even.
Yeah, he's already up this morning doing media.
Good media this morning. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, so, and he gave no update on Reddick, said he's got MRI on his ankle and his knee. So, but I mentioned we go get a linebacker. We could probably use a pass rusher too.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to get Trey Hendrickson, and he's beat up anyway. And I'm not signing him to a long-term deal, but if I can rent him for the rest of the season and the cost is not prohibitive, I'd look into that.
I'll give you an alternative on the other side.
Okay. Yeah, there's got to be some players out there. I think with this team where you're at right now, and as well as you've drafted, you've got some opportunities here to give away some draft picks and get some good players that can help you down the stretch, because you know what your deficiencies are right now, especially on defense. Offense, I think you're fine. I don't think you need anybody on offense. You got guys coming back. Godwin's coming back. J-Mac's coming back. Abuka will be better. Mike may come back later. I think you're fine on offense, but defensively, you need a linebacker, an inside linebacker, and a pass rusher. So we'll talk about that. All right, much more to get to here, including all of your comments. There's a lot more calls that we need to get to as well that were stupid last night. And we're going to get to the rest of the NFL. We got FSU stuff. I got some nuggets there. What's going on in Florida. USF is killing it. So we're going to get to all that as we go through the show. Thank you guys for jumping in. We appreciate it. Jeeves Law Group is where you go if you get involved in an accident. JEEVESLawgroup.com. They're local, trusted, and they get results. So do not go with some big law firm that doesn't know the legal landscape here locally, the judges, all that stuff. You got to go with the local folks. Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com, 9-30 spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And Genesis of Tampa, they're going to make your payments until 2026 if you buy a new car right now at Genesis of Tampa. How about that? No payments in October, November, or December. You can use that for Christmas money. Boom. Just did all your Christmas shopping and found the money for you. Go get a new car. Go get a new car. You're starting early. Genesis of Tampa. Tell them JP sent you over there. They're of 275 and Bears. Unbelievable cars, by the way. The best value on the market, in my opinion. Genesis of Tampa. All right, back in 3 with your comments. Stay with us. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. They were packed last night. Baseball was on, football was on. Oh, yeah, they were packed last night. And, of course, for good reason. They have the best food, the best drinks, best happy hour, best staff, best all that. Best all that. What the hell is that?
It's my new look.
Your new look. You look great. You like, I like that.
You don't like my co-host today?
You shaved the beard. Yeah, go to Riveters for all your watching needs. World Series is starting this week as Toronto wins a big one last night on Friday. We'll be starting in the Rogers Center last night. Boy, that place was jumping.
Have you ever been there? You've been there, haven't you? Dome?
I have not. I've been outside of it. Place. I've been up in the Needle.
Yeah.
But I've never actually been in Rogers Center.
Dude, it's a great
Now, that may or may not have been me in the hotel overlooking, having my way.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. That may have been me. There's rumors out there, but.
So you have been there.
Riveters, place to go. Always the place, official sports bar of the Tampa Gator Club as well. So if you want to watch your new coach this week, it's Riveters. I don't even, who is the interim coach?
The Gators?
Yeah.
I assumed it was you.
I should know that. I assumed it was me. Well, you probably call
Billy Gonzalez.
Billy Gonzalez?
Speedy Gonzalez.
Gonzalez? Yeah. And by the way, a lot of thoughts on the FSU stuff. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But let's get to these wonderful commenters, including Bucs Baseman, who was up early ripping Todd Bowles. Yeah, shocking development. Bucs Baseman says, I was beyond disgusted by the refs in that game. You could tell that they were trying to make up for the Lions for what happened in the Chiefs game because they completely hosed the Bucs. You know what? That's where we are. That's where we are now. You know, we're literally like, oh, we feel bad for the Lions. After the Chiefs, like, there's literally a research paper now out done by, was it UTEP, I believe?
UTEP,
where they went and categorically showed where they got the calls. And the NFL really, 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 and I know they're going to blow it under the rug, shove it under the rug because, they have their media partners now in ESPN. They're not going to talk about it. The only place you're really going to hear this is on independent media and shows like that. I did hear Carton last week did a big rant on officiating. I think it's going to start bubbling up, but it's going to get squashed because the most major media outlets are not going to talk about it for obvious reasons. It's too much money involved. Bucs Basement says, also, Light has got to do something at the trade deadline. The pass rush was awful, and something has to be done with Charlie Heck because holy heck, he's freaking terrible. Yeah. I think maybe you go to Chacomwa. I don't know. I know he's young and he's raw, but he's talented, and Charlie Heck is not. So, but listen, I trust Carberry and Pigucci to know what's best for them on the offensive line. I'm not going to second guess those guys. They freaking know a hell of a lot more than we do. Yeah. And yeah. You were going to say something, Tim. I'm sorry before I cut you off.
I just want to let me go on record with all of this referees favor one team nonsense that I keep hearing from everywhere. I don't believe any of it. Do I think there's an issue with the referees? Yes. Do I think they're inconsistent and they miss important calls? Yes. Do I think that at any point they favor one team over any other team in the league? Absolutely not. I think that's a narrative that's been started by the media that technically you can make stats say anything that you want him to say, JP. You know that. I know that.
Yep.
I don't believe any of that crap. Now, are there questionable situations? Yes. I don't think there's a goal to go out and make the Chiefs win or any other team. I think the bigger possibility and probability is that the league hates certain teams for various reasons and will skew calls against them more than what they would go favor another team. I've never bought into that. I don't agree with it. I think it's silly. That's just my personal standing. I just don't buy into it. I've been covering this league way too long to believe that something like that would happen. And I know that if it was going to happen, it's more probable now because of the betting angles and the league's, partnership with betting and not that they're
that's new.
ESPN.
That's new.
That's new. I get it. But I don't know. I just have a hard time buying into that personally. I mean, I love talking about it, but I don't know that I buy
the conspiracy theories will point to a lot of different things. And one of the things, and a lot of these conspiracy theories that have proven to be true, is because there's a lack of transparency.
Agreed.
A lack of transparency, first of all, allows a lot of people to ask questions if we're not getting full transparency, and we're not on these calls until they open it up to full disclosure like the ACC does, unless it's a late game and they're not staffing the booth in Charlotte, which is what happened to the FSU game.
Yeah.
More needs to be talked about that. I need answers.
Yeah.
But until they go to full transparency, there's going to be questions, and rightfully so. So that's number one. You want to get rid of the conspiracy theorists, be more transparent in what you're doing, which the NFL could clearly do, but they choose not to. Now, as far as teams go, here's what I know. Here's what I know about life at 62 years old. I know that people will do anything for money, and they'll do a lot of crazy stuff for lots of money. Following the money has always been a gold standard for me when trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Right.
And when you can change calls at a whim that can make you and your partners hundreds of millions of dollars, depending on where the money is laid, you're giving human beings the opportunity to do something that they normally will do, because their ethics and their morals are not what they used to be. We don't have any of that anymore. There's not a culture of morality, ethics, honesty in this country anymore. That's why everything is a scam. So I think I don't want to believe it, but my experience over the last 5 to 6 years especially, I've come to know, you know what things I used to know are not true. And I've been lied to a lot. And now I know that. And so I'm suspicious of everything. I've always been a very suspicious and always questioned authority my entire life. From the moment I started reading the Warren Report when I was a kid and getting into the JFK assassination. And I'm like, explain that magic bullet thing again. I knew that people were lying to me. And it was the institution that we all had so much faith in. Our government. It's the United States of America. We are the ultimate democracy. Our government would never lie to us. Wow. So now when you think, oh, they wouldn't do that. Yes, they would. Oh, they're not doing that. Why? They wouldn't do that. Why? Because why? What's the, exactly. They're doing it. Yes. So if that's what you got, they wouldn't do that. If that's your comeback and your rationale for it not happening, you better check yourself, because they are. 95% of the time, they are. That default mechanism, I'm just telling you, Uncle JP here, should not be a default mechanism anymore. Follow the money. And I think there's real issues here. I think there's real issues here with gambling and maybe even narrative making in the NFL, because the ratings, propping up certain teams and pushing other teams down makes better ratings and makes more money for the NFL. At some point, you'd say, why wouldn't you do it if you can?
Yeah.
All right, back to comments here. Christopher Cole said the loss is one thing, but to lose Evans, awful. Refs were terrible. Yeah, listen, Mike, we've won games without him, finally, but we usually don't win games without Mike Evans. This team has got to find a way to consistently win games without Mike Evans. And that's going to be a challenge, because a lot of what this offense does is predicated on Mike Evans. Kenneth McCleary says, first and foremost, I'm sending healing vibes to Mike. Yeah, absolutely. Not to mention that I'm counting that play as a spectacular catch. Unfortunately, by rule, it wasn't correct. And he says, good morning to the Petermans. Yes, as we'd love to do every morning. He also says, Kenneth does, I hope that there's nobody berating Baker Mayfield for that performance, which it was a bad performance. He was off pretty much all night, but he's bound to have a game like that at some point. Absolutely. This is the NFL, and every team is good, even despite injuries. And I detailed why the Lions were effective on defense last night, and tip your cap to them. It was well done. But it doesn't mean the Bucs suck. So Kenneth also says, as for Tez Johnson, he showed that he's a rookie, but he also showed that he's going to be a hell of a weapon as he learns his way through the NFL. Yeah, I think there were a couple instances where Tez was running the wrong routes, and I think we've seen that a couple times this year. But, man, with the ball in his hands, holy shit.
Yeah, and he'll work through those rookie issues.
Yeah.
He's got enough veteran presence in that room, in that wide receiver room, even aside from the coaching staff, that will help him through those things. And I guarantee you, he got a talking to last night a couple of times. You can see it on the sideline. Yeah. Yeah. But, the stuff you can't teach. Wow.
Got it. Wow. That touchdown run. Holy shiz.
By the way, am I the only one in the world that didn't know that he was adopted by the Knicks family?
Yes, you are.
I knew before last night, but I just found that out.
It's a crazy good story.
It is
crazy good story.
And they showed the video of Bo Nix, on draft night, and Tez was right there to his left.
How about his mom? How about his mom saying, son, I'm struggling and I can't do it for you. Maybe you could go with a family that's going to really help you reach his potential. And he's still in touch with his mom. So it wasn't that's such a touching story.
Yeah, the bigger storyline there is that she kept in touch with him, and didn't just abandon him and push him off, but she stayed in contact because that's what she thought was best for him. And
it probably broke her heart.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. I'd like to know more about that.
Yep.
Rick says 5-2, the great Sam White's line. Let's see what Todd Bowles is made of this year. That's right. Rick says, not a scam. Why are you asking for money?
It's been a while.
Shut up, Rick. Yes, we like your super chats and that little screen down there to the left.
Hey, just because people ask for money doesn't mean it's a scam, okay? There are legitimate reasons to ask for money.
Right. So we can continue this independent media that we do, but when you give me money, there are no strings attached.
JP needs new underwear.
That's right. If you want to give me, if you want to come in here and say, listen, I'm going to sponsor your program, but you got to stop talking bad about Stu Sternberg.
I mean, it might happen now because he's
not to say that conversation wasn't had, because it was.
Yeah.
And I said, no, sorry. And that conversation's happened many times, folks, in different ways. And I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, but my mentor was Chris Thomas, and he and I shared the journalistic ethics and that we share. And it's the reason I'm here independently, and I'm not working for corporate media.
Days, to be honest.
I'm not working for, because I can't do it. I tried. I can't do it. Sorry. More Right Rudder says, what's crazy is if Baker hits Tez late in the fourth, it's a one-score game. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't talked about it. I mean, this game, we were in this game. It just took, and that one to Tez, you're right. Did you see Baker kind of he changed his motion?
Yeah, he double clutched.
He changed his motion. He kind of he's like, oh, he's so open. I've been inaccurate all day. I'm the self-talk that's going, I'm just going to lay it out there. I'm just going to lay it out there nice and easy for him. He's got room to run. Just Baker never looked comfortable. He never looked confident. And that happens.
No, you remember early in the game when he was flushed out to his left and he was trying to run the ball like we've seen him do all season successfully, and he got tripped up by the turf monster?
Yes.
I knew right then. I'm like, crap, this is going to be one of those nights.
Yes, you're right. I remember thinking the same thing.
Yep.
He just does. It's just not Baker tonight.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? And he's, to this point of the season, he's been beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the ultimate warrior. I'm telling you, folks, this guy's working with he should be on the injury list every week. He's probably working with about 6 or 7 different things. The bicep thing, the knee thing, the ankle thing. He's beat up.
He's got his bell rung a couple of times too this season.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you get to a point where your body's just so beat up that it's not, you're so sore you can't play the way you want to play. And I think we saw a little bit of that last night. He needs to sit in a cold tub the entire week. Yeah, Rick says Baker never got comfortable. Batted passes early, had him throwing high all night long. Yeah, that'll change your motion as well. Sergio says, stop blaming the refs. Yes, there were bad calls, but at the end of the day, Mayfield played horrible. Missed tackles too. Yeah, that's true. That's true, but so is the refs suck. That's true too. And listen, you could say, "Oh, it didn't cost you the game." If I reverse 4 of those calls, we're in the game. We're in the game. Simple as that. So it does matter. It matters a lot, actually. I'm not saying, and again, it's not the reason you lost. The reason you lost is the other stuff. But those things contribute tremendously sometimes. Nathan says Bucs had no answer for Jahmyr Gibbs. Yep, that's linebacker play. Marty Aaron says Detroit kicked their ass. It happens next game. True. Yeah, Detroit's a good football team, and they played at home, and they were coming off a loss. Yeah. I expected a little bit more from the Bucs, frankly. So did my betting dollars. But, yeah. More right Rudder says that was pissed off Lions team, too. Bucs need to do what elite teams do after loss and respond with an ass kicking. Yes.
Yeah, I'd hate to be New Orleans this week.
But you got to go do it.
Yeah.
These Bulls teams in the past few years, they hit a streak. Guys are beat up. They don't respond very well. You go on 4-game losing streak. So is this team different? Is it deeper? Is it better? Does it make better adjustments? Can they get off the mat midseason against good teams? And this isn't a good team this week, but it's a tough challenge given the circumstances. Mm-hmm.
Would you give any consideration? And I'm not saying I think this should happen because I don't, but would you give any consideration to starting Bridgewater this week?
Yes. Yes.
And I know you got a week off coming up, but the way Mayfield played last night and the way we think he's banged up,
I'm concerned about him being beat up.
I think 2 weeks are better than 1.
Yeah, I'm concerned
and he's
about
always
him
there. If Bridgewater struggles, you can always put him in.
Yeah,
but I would hard consider that this week.
And for those who say, "Well, we can't go to our backups," look at what Detroit's backups did last night. Teddy Bridgewater's won a lot of games in this league, and he's probably way more comfortable now with what he's got to work with. And you should be able to run the football, control this football game. I'm not saying, look, if Baker's just a little beat up, and if he's really beat up and needs rest, I don't think it's a bad idea. I really don't. They won't do it, but
I know.
No. Mr. King says he was short. That was the right call on Otten. Okay, Mr. King. Where was the measurement? Where was the virtual Why didn't they spot the ball and measure it?
I
didn't see anything that was convincing that he didn't get it. You're supposed to have indisputable evidence.
Because they called him on the field that he got
it. That's right. And I thought he got it by a bunch. But then you got to match up where the knee hits and all that bullshit. And it's just there's no way you cannot make the case that it was overwhelming evidence that he didn't make it. That
they overturned their own call.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Casper said Todd Bowles saying in his press conference that it was explained to him and he understood it is unacceptable. Yes. Listen, you're right, but what's he supposed to do? Rant and rave, get fined, doesn't do any good. Calls made. Todd's not that guy.
No.
I mean, sometimes we want him to be, but what difference does it make?
He's probably doing that privately, but he's not.
Oh, I know he is. Oh, dude, he's fuming privately. He is fuming privately. But the NFL is and this is another thing about it. The NFL is very, very touchy about you talking about the officiating, the players and the coaches.
Yeah, look at Dre Greenlaw.
Yeah, they're very, very touchy about that. No matter how much they fuck up, you can't say a word because you're getting paid.
By the way,
does that sound like transparency to you? Listen, I know we don't need players and coaches going off all the time like they want to. Like Baker said after the game, he said, look, I put a lot of work into this. And when guys are screwing, I'm paraphrasing, but when guys are screwing up, I'm going to say something about it to his face. He said in the moment, John Hussey, I'm sure, is doing the best job he can, but they missed the third down holding call. Missed a lot of them, actually.
Yeah.
And the Bucs were bad on third down, but nobody's getting open. I'm going to go look at all 22, but from what I saw last night in my quick review, there was a lot of clutching and grabbing going on.
4 of 16 on third down, JP.
Yeah. Yeah, and they had a lot of 3rd and 6 or less. I think they were 3rd and 10 on 3rd and 6 or less, which is really bad.
I mean, here's the problem. They held Detroit to 3 of 13. They just didn't have a lot of opportunities, I don't think, in Detroit. But
this call, Nathan Stout said Jamal Dean call for illegal contact was BS call. Would have been 4th down instead of the very next play is over half his rushing yards for 7. Yeah. We say, oh, those calls don't matter. That one, it's huge call. Huge call. Leads to a touchdown.
Game changer. Yeah, game changer.
Yeah, game changer. They add up. You know?
JP, so I mentioned the Dre Greenlaw thing. I don't know if y'all
go ahead.
about that
Talk about that. No, we have not.
So in the massive come from behind victory in Denver when the Broncos scored 33 fourth quarter points after having a 0.02% chance to win the game, according to whatever those metrics are, entering the fourth quarter. Dre Greenlaw, who was in his first game for the Broncos after being injured all season, and I don't know what this was about, but he had verbally accosted. It wasn't physical, but he verbally accosted a referee walking off the field after the game. So he's out versus he got suspended by the league, by the way. I've never seen a referee, though, throw a flag after the game when the clock's not running and the game's not going on. That referee threw his flag as high as he possibly could. And we're like a minute, 2 minutes after the game. The players are walking off the field, and I see that.
Oh my God!
That flag go up in the air, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
That's like, somebody come get me. I'm about to get my ass beat.
Yeah, and I still don't know what was said.
That was like firing a flare gun. Like, help!
Where's my other zebras?
I'm about to get killed.
Zebras assemble!
Hello.
That's crazy, though, man.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Never seen a ref do that after the whistle, after the game. Just see a random flag fly up in the air.
John Browning says Bucs won't do shit with D. History tells us they won't. You're right, John. But I think your principles are good. Hold on to your draft picks,
so
especially when you're good at drafting.
Do you want my Trey Hendrickson alternative move? Because as I've mentioned before, I'm not big on Trey Hendrickson because he is really banged up and he's dealing with a back. And if you need a guy for right now, which the Bucs do, I don't know that he's your guy. But there's another guy who's probably going to be dealt named Max Crosby.
Ooh.
Who would help you.
But he's got a long contract.
Well, do you want to win, JP?
Yes. How old is he and how long is that contract? My brain says $38 million a year and he's 29, 30.
One moment, please.
Yeah.
He is. Come on, intrawebs. He is 28 years old. Okay. Just turned 28, by the way.
Just turned 20. Okay.
Just turned 28. He's a month into his 28-year-old year.
Right.
Making 35 a year. So he'll make.
That's close.
So his cap hit this year is 38. Next year's 35. 2027 goes down to 29. So it goes down every year, and then you've got a potential out after 2027. That he will become a regular free agent after 2029. So, dude, I don't hate the contract for that age at 38, 35, 29. No, I don't hate that contract at all, dude.
He's a devastating player.
Here are your Bucs draft picks for 2026. They've got obviously number 31 in the first, which you'd have to give up probably. In the second round, number 63. In the third round, you've got number 95.
Projected, obviously. They're projected to have the 31st pick. Yeah. They're going to the Super Bowl. Okay.
Apparently, yeah, I know. That's clearly.
Well, it's going to be. It's going to be.
You own all of your picks for 2026.
And it's going to be in the 20s at the very least. They're not getting any higher than that. No. So next year's first round pick, if you could get one of the most dominating pass rushers in the league with your first round pick, you would sign up for that. You would sign up for that tomorrow.
You've got him locked down for at least 3 years.
Now, the rookie contract obviously would be a lot cheaper than what you're going to pay this guy, but
are you going to get
it's a glaring. We know by now Yaya is not a one, and Hassan Reddick ain't what I thought. I missed on that one. I completely whiffed on that one. I thought he was going to be a game changer. He's not. So yeah. You got the cap room. That's not a
draft capital.
It's not a bad. It is a glaring, gaping hole. There's no question about it. Those guys change games. Aiden Hutchinson changed the game last night. He may not have had great numbers, but he changed the game. He was around Baker all night long. He did not allow Baker to get comfortable, and that was the main. That's number one on my topic list today. Number one, Baker was harassed. He was off. Why? And that's Aiden Hutchinson. Not to mention the fact that you got to chip. Yeah, they had to chip him all night long. You taking it back and a tight end out of the pattern. These guys wreck games. They change game plans, and we don't have that guy.
Yeah.
And when we've won Super Bowls, we've had that guy. Simeon, JPP,
that guy, man.
Max Crosby's that guy. Yep. Yeah, I would do it. I do. I think you're spot on. I would
much rather have him than Trey Hendrickson.
Karen Clemente, good morning, Karen, said sports betting is also ruining the game. How much is Vegas influencing things? This is a new world we live in, guys.
Valid question.
It's a new world we live in. And the numbers are the numbers. Okay, so when you go into a Sunday, the NFL conceivably has all the numbers at all the sports books where all the money is placed. You could do a spreadsheet and hit a number and say, if the games go this way, this is how much our partners in Vegas and DraftKings and all these other partners make. If this game goes that way, this is where it goes. And we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, this is all conceivable. Now you say, well, JP, if anybody ever found out about this large conspiracy, then the NFL would cease to exist. This is a $15 billion operation. Why would you risk so much of it? I know this, that when you have the media as your partners, those stories don't get out. This is your politics, folks. This is what's been going on in Washington for decades. When you control the media and you control the message, you can do whatever the F you want. And right now, we don't have a fourth estate. We don't have a media that is investigating anything. And even when they do it, people don't believe it. People still think there's no UFOs. People still
saw one. we never
Harvey Oswald was the only one who killed JFK.
Oh, Lord. I still think UFOs killed JFK.
Ooh, now there's a conspiracy.
How you like that?
So, listen, this is totally new. The NFL has never been to this place where they have all of their partners are invested in gambling. Billions of dollars are being wagered on these games, hundreds of millions. And you can affect the outcome with this non-transparent New York and anonymous entity that changes games and changes outcomes of gambling. You know what you'd have to show me? Show me another situation like this where people aren't doing it. Show me another situation in business where you can enact a business model like this and they're saying, no, that would be dishonest. That would be dishonest. We can't do that. That's immoral. We can't do that. Doesn't exist. So this would be an outlier. If the NFL was completely on the up and up and not taking advantage of this humongous opportunity they have to make hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, that would be an outlier. Am I wrong? Well, JP, if somebody found out, that's not the way it works anymore. Even if people find out and have documents that show this is what happened, people go, I don't believe it. And everybody wants their NFL. We don't want, what are we going to do? Not watch? It's too big to fail. What are you not going to watch?
UFL. we all become St. Louis Battlehawks fans.
Yeah, right. We're the league with integrity. Yeah, who cares? It's slow and ugly. and it's not football season. I don't know what to tell you.
I disagree with all of that you just said.
know you.
That's a story for another day. Kind of.
Rick says, JP, you don't need an attorney to figure out the refs, just a Vegas bookie. There's a lot of truth in that, my friend. More like Reddit says, Joel, I disagree with the weapons they have. Giving them the ball at the 50 twice, holding them to 24 points is a win. Yeah, defensively, we haven't really talked about this a whole lot. But what did you think of the game? That they got turnovers, they got some stops. My problem is this. It's kind of like FSU Miami. When you're so in control of a game, I just don't think I think the Lions are smart enough Goff is smart enough not to take risks when he doesn't have to. That's how you win football games. You minimize your risk until you're threatened. And I think if the Bucs got within one score, the Lions would have just gone right down the field. And if they really had to. Am I wrong on that? If you never get within 2 scores, you're not really threatening the other team, right?
It's true.
So I don't know. I have to I take it with a grain of salt that the defense held them to 24 points. I think if they needed to score 31, they would have. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think the first half, they did whatever the hell they wanted to do offensively. So, when you make did you make adjustments? Okay. Yeah. But again, when we threatened, what happened? They went right down the field and scored. When it came 14-9, what happened? They went right down the field. 5 plays scored. I think it was 5 plays. So, yeah. Joel Forsland says, definitely poor offensive game plan. Somebody else said roll Baker out. Yeah, I think you needed to put him on the move last night. When you saw that he was uncomfortable, you needed to change his launch point, I think.
I mean, it didn't matter. He was inaccurate no matter where he was throwing from. Yeah. I mean, I thought the same thing. You got to get him rolled out more on whatever. But
yeah, to your point, even when he got out of the pocket, he was a little off.
Mattered.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter.
Joel says, if Saints game is close, we got problems. This team is horrendous, the Saints. I haven't watched a lot of Saints football, but it just, I'm glancing.
They're bad.
They're really bad?
They're really bad.
And
I will painfully say this, and it pains me to say this. The only good thing going for the Saints this season is coaching.
Oh,
it pains me.
Yes, because you were not
a Kellen Moore fan.
No,
or I'm sorry, Ellen Moore as his name is,
and a misogynistic shot as well.
You know where that comes from, right?
No.
So in you don't remember we played this on the air in his opening press conference. The owner
of the Saints,
what's her face of the Saints, announced him. We're so happy to have Ellen Moore as our head coach.
No, she did it.
We played it on the show.
Well, I can't remember a lot of things we play on the show.
Yeah, no, so he's always Ellen Moore now to me.
Wow, that's worse than Mark Allstott. JS says, were the pass pro issues from last night a result of the injured O-line throughout the year? Yes. The right guard was bad last night. And so your right guard and your right tackle are not great. They're not good. They're backups for a reason. Career backups for a reason. So, yeah, when you go against a good front, that's why we've been saying all along 5-1 is like stealing with all the injuries you've had. This was eventually going to happen. Eventually, Baker was going to look mortal because of the offensive line. Eventually. And that's why you're ecstatic to be 5-2 with all these injuries.
And look, they're probably right where we guessed they would be in the season, right? We guessed
better. I had them at 4-4 at the bye. Yeah.
I think I did too. And so, dude, they're playing well. You're going to have these games, man. Baker's not going to be an MVP every single game.
Right.
Just be happy that it came against one of the best, or I'll say the other best team in the NFC.
Who was coming off a loss and was pissed off, but they were also beat up. So, but hey, as football. All right, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, the great TJ Rives, who was in Detroit last night, will join us. Detroit, as the Canadians call it. So we'll get if his ears are not still ringing, we will. Hey, TJ, Welcome to the show. Hey, we are brought to you by the very interesting and wonderful folks at Delete Me. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. You getting all those phishing attempts? Oh, DMV, you owe money. No, you don't. You know, that means they have your number, and that means you need Delete Me. The New York Times Wirecutter has named Delete Me their top pick for data removal services. And you can always trust the Times. So take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now with a special discount for our listeners, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/hit and use the promo code HIT at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is go to joindeleteme.com/hit and enter the code HIT at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/hit, code HIT. Do it now. Back in 3 with TJ. Stay with us. The holidays are coming up, and the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler. Discover the ultimate jewelry superstore with the largest selection of diamonds, engagement rings, and fine jewelry all under one roof. Don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. And as your relationship grows, so can your diamond with the Golden Diamond Source. Trade up at any time. You get 100% of its value when you come back to trade up. And why don't you get a head start on your holiday shopping? With the Golden Diamond Source's unbeatable low pricing and financing options, you can get 5 years, 0%, and make this holiday season truly memorable. The Golden Diamond Source takes pride in offering only natural diamonds formed over billions of years by the Earth's incredible forces. If it's real love, get a real diamond. Shop online anytime at goldendiamond.com or stop by their showroom and tell them JP sent you at 3800 Almaton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. With this record heat in Tampa Bay, you better have your AC unit running at peak efficiency. Third Generation Plumbing installs the best American standard AC units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. That's why Third Generation Plumbing trusts American standard air conditioning, built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American Standard. Plumbing or cooling, we've got Tampa covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing today, 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And we also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show as we roll on here on this Loser Tuesday.
That's what it is.
Perfect for me, right?
Unless you're a Cowboys fan.
But we're not. On-site construction and restoration is where you need to go if you are looking to restore your home, or you're looking to add on to your home, or looking to build a home. Any type of construction, whether it be a commercial or residential. OnSiteConstructionFL.com is the website. Go see my man, Jason Fawcett, the owner over there. Actually, you can get a free consultation with him. He'll come out to your home, check out everything, give you some ideas on what they can do if you want to add on or do some different things. And also, if you're involved in a hurricane and there's damage like last year and you're frantically looking for a contractor, people are still rebuilding because they couldn't get a good contractor or couldn't find one, you will be on the preferred client list and you will have priority. That's a big deal. OnSiteConstructionFL.com, lots of 5-star reviews. So get the local company that's been here for a long, long time. They've done over 1,400 jobs in the local area, have a great reputation. Be on their preferred client list. That's OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Smart thing to do. Get to know your contractor before you desperately need him. Right? That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and a nice guy.
Get to know your co-host before you need him.
Is that a shot?
I feel like we didn't really get
Is that a shot at me?
No, it's a shot at me.
Is that a shot at TJ Rives?
Shot at TJ Rives.
Your other co-host who joins us now live from his lair, the Reeves lair.
Proof of life. I am in fact awake and back from Detroit, sort of.
You made it back safely.
What was the tagline there? I got lost. What was the tagline from the company again? The Circle of Friends. What was it? The tagline from the sponsor that you just read.
Be on their preferred client list.
Am I a preferred client here? Are you my preferred client? Am I your preferred client?
You're a preferred guest is what you are.
Preferred guest. I'm here, president accounted for after a tough night in the Motor City. Timmy, please. I'm advancing in age. If I start giving out my bank account information or my PIN number, please stop me.
I'll write it down and then I'll stop you.
Thank you. A little groggy. Got in about 3 a.m. You always love the deets.
Yeah.
At the Palatial Reeves Palace about 3:50. The dog acted like she hasn't seen me in years. So we're up, we're awake, we're around. Got in the rack about 4:45. And now up and going here after a tough one last night. So full disclosure, I have been working a little bit on the Nothing But Bucs podcast. I am aware Todd Bowles has talked to the media a little while ago. Have you been talking about this?
Already this morning, yes.
All right, so the update is Mike Evans is gone at least 6 weeks, if not, dare we say, the season. Don't know. Could maybe come back. I don't know. Did he provide any kind of further update on Hassan Reddick?
6 to 8 weeks, just basically said you don't know. Towards the end of the season, he could come back.
Right.
But, yeah.
You know what? You and I go back, and the other collarbone injury that I thought of is Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer, 99, broke the collarbone in Seattle. Sean King then came in as the rookie starter, and Trent Dilfer never played another down for the Buccaneers, by the way. Didn't get back healthy the rest of that season. Didn't even get healthy in the postseason when they went into the postseason to play. So
different with because I think it was his right clavicle. His throwing arm.
Correct.
Yeah. So
stay tuned on Mike being able to come back from that. And I didn't hear if there's an update on Hassan Reddick, who got carted off with a leg injury, did not look good. Don't know what the long term is.
MRI
on that. So
MRI today.
Tough night to say the least. Played poorly in some aspects, played well at times in other aspects. I did not get to hear a lot of what you said in the buildup, but there were throws to be made by Baker Mayfield that he didn't make.
Yeah.
That set you back. Defense.
Well, I can ask you this real quick. I hate to interrupt you, but while we're on Baker, so you get to see him coming off the field. You get to see his body language. To me, his body language is just off last night. Totally. He never got into the game. Didn't have that, that signature run.
You're correct.
Yeah. What was his body language like coming off the field?
You saw some of that, especially when the first drive and then the second drive, they can't even get a first down. They're backed up. They're rattled. They got a couple of false start penalties early on in the game, which you did not see in Seattle. You did not have in Houston or even in Atlanta. I can't recall in Atlanta if they had one. They didn't have one in Houston. They didn't have one in Seattle. And he was electric from the beginning in Seattle against the loud crowd. That was not the case last night. They did an excellent job with their front seven of obviously covering up for their inexperienced, lacking secondary. And they hit him some and got to him some and spied him where he couldn't get out of the pocket some. They played very aggressive man-to-man bump and run where he didn't have outlet guys open right away. It was just weird at times. I'm not making excuses where he's got an open guy and he misses. And
like badly, not a little bit.
Yes, several times. And then they can't get the run game going to settle it down either. Credit Detroit. Again, Detroit is really good. Kids, I'm not making excuses. They're probably one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the NFL when they are right, and especially at that place. Again, 4 Advil night, 2 before the game and 2 after the game. It was not easy. They have got players all over the field, and you just did not help yourself offensively. Then the Gibbs play obviously happens, which breaks the game open at that point at 14-0. It demoralizes you. Still, though, you stay in the game. You get a score before halftime. You get a score out of the locker room. You're in the game. It's not like they blew you out.
Yeah.
We can't act like on Monday night they blew you out. They did not. This did not become 41-9.
That was 14-9, and then they answered with a really good drive, which I thought was like, ooh, right. That was the time you needed it.
Yes, you needed to stop them there, but the defense had stopped them over and over again in the second quarter and in the third quarter. And again, the game was weird. We're going to get into the replay review mayhem and the chaos. You have another doink. Help me on very little sleep. Was it the Jets game or was it the Eagles game where that was a doink that also barely went through? Which game? It was one of those 2 games.
It was the Eagles, right?
The Eagles game, I think.
Game. We've had 2 doinks now recently that have barely gone through the upright. Yeah. And I was standing down there around Laura Rutledge of ESPN and others for a lot of the night. And when they lined up that 58-yard field goal, I said, why is he not punting here and playing the coffin corner with the way their defense is playing? Because if you miss this from 58 and he'd already missed earlier, you're giving the ball to the Bucs at midfield with a ton of time in a 21-9 game. And sure enough, he doinks. And then my vantage point is like this, like, did that go in? And I got Buccaneers running in front of me. You know, Baker's going like this. Everybody thought he missed. And then I'm looking at her. They have a wireless TV on a stand, and I'm looking at her monitor, and they show the ball come inside the goalpost, like maybe a yard, maybe 2 feet.
Yeah.
We had bad doink luck as well, Timmy, last night.
Got to have good doink luck.
We needed some good doink luck.
You got no luck. You got bad calls.
We needed something, and we had calls.
What was your favorite worst call of the night? The K. Dotton review?
Okay. On the K. Dotton. All right, on the K. Dotton, and I'm aware of this, and we got the Nothing But Bucs podcast coming out here, and I realize I got to toe the line. Yes. I work for the team on the officiating. But help me, please. K. Dotton has the ball pinned to his shoulder, which is possession. He's got it. He takes a step backwards, correct? His butt, his rumpus hits the ground. That's a secondary act with possession. Yes. All the stuff that happened after that of the defenders now trying to take the ball away to get it to come loose, that should not matter. And I believe Troy Aikman on the TV broadcast even said they've got to leave this as a catch. He's got possession of the ball with his butt down because they even slowed it down. Again, I'm hanging with Laura Rutledge watching her portable TV and seeing exactly because the Lions team, the video team, they're not showing that replay over and over again.
No.
In the visiting situation for the Bucs. and they're freezing it with his butt on the ground. I'm like, that's a catch.
Yeah.
And they call it an interception.
TJ, that was one we didn't even talk about. I was talking about the
first down.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that circus in a minute.
So all simultaneous catches have always gone to the offense. Now, as I watched the replay, the defender had two arms on the ball. K. Dotton had one hand on the ball.
This is after, again, we might mention his butt is on the ground with possession of the ball.
Possession of the ball. And when they roll over,
the field is catch,
when they roll over, the defender gets a better grip on the ball to a point where it looks like he has better possession. But again, so we're splitting hairs here and making judgments. Right. The rule says if it's simultaneous, what is simultaneous possession? From what I've always seen, it always goes to the offense, and it's even if the defense looks like they have a better spot of it, just if the offense has any possession at all, it goes to the offense. So these are what we call 50-50 calls that you could say it went, let's say you could make an argument. And this is where the NFL can control every game that goes on, especially when you don't define things very well. Now, for all my entire life, every time there was a simultaneous catch, let's go.
Right.
We didn't look at it. We just went, and I went on a rant this morning that I'll probably clip out and send to you about we're old enough to know back in 1975 watching games where they make a call and we just play football.
You live with it.
And you live with it.
We've lived with it forever.
And the argument has always been, well, if you can get the call right, let's get it right. They're not getting the calls right. They're adding more ambiguity and more suspicion.
If it's obviously wrong and needs to be changed, that's what we want replay for.
Yes.
We have now gone like 2 levels above that, that we slow down everything in 4K video into microseconds, and you make these officials almost on the live call obsolete with all that you're doing with replay assist.
And they're afraid to make a call because they know it's going to be
great point. They're gun shy to make a call. They get instructed, don't blow your whistle. Go ahead and let it be a live ball, let it be a fumble so we can review it. So then we can then claim later, well, the call on the field was a fumble. Yeah, because you've instructed your guys not to blow the whistle and not to actually officiate the play. And that's why the call is fumble, live ball. I loved Baker threw. I like this last night. Baker threw the ball with Aiden Hutchinson hitting his arm in the first half. The ball went 20 yards down the field, and Aiden Hutchinson's going like this and pointing this way. And I'm like, the ball doesn't go 20 yards in the air down the field if he didn't throw it. He threw the ball, and John Hussey immediately is doing this and blowing his whistle. Because
every play now can be interpreted a different way. So we got to do this on every. And do you remember back in the day when we actually just watched football?
Yeah. Turn it loose. Don't micromanage with the replay. Yeah. All right, so let's get to the circus of the fourth down play at midfield. Again, you forced Detroit to punt. You've gotten the ball. You get a first down after they pinned you in. You're up near midfield. Again, my vantage point is TV left of the Buccaneer bench. I'm on about the 30-yard line looking like this towards the play. I thought – again, I don't have a right down the line look. I thought he's got the catch. He's leaned it forward. They've called it first down. And here we get into, this is why you're watching the JP Peterson show right now. I'm here for the explanation, and then we'll get into the whole circus of the head of the vice president of replay officiating in the command center who gave the comments to the pool reporter. We'll get to all of this.
Okay.
All right. In the dynamic, the 3 things where New York comes in immediately are scoring plays, turnovers, and change of possession or not on downs, a fourth down play. So that is New York immediately looking at that play and buzzing the replay official and buzzing John Hussey, telling him we are looking at the play. So we're just going through the mechanics of what they do by procedure on the play. So John Hussey is standing there and he is listening in the communication, and that is New York talking to him. That is the Supreme Court. Let's use our civics analogy.
The nameless, faceless, anonymous New York.
True. Correct. New York. New York.
Yes.
All right. The Supreme Court in New York has banged. There is no appeal beyond the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court in New York has banged the gavel.
Yes.
K. Dotton caught the ball, and he has made the line to gain. That's the ruling from the replay command center. John Hussey announces that to the Ford Field crowd, to all of us, to all of you that were watching on TV. The replay is that he caught the ball and he got the line to gain. At that point, this is my criticism, and again, I got to be careful, but this is the truth. He's got to administer the game better. At that point, He does this right here, and he blows the whistle and says, play ball. All right? He doesn't do that. He stands around for a few seconds, and Dan Campbell's looking at the video board for more replays, and he's smart. He's a savvy coach. He's going, I got nothing to lose. We're up 21-9. Let me throw my challenge flag and screw around with the Buccaneers some more here and tell him that I want to challenge that he didn't catch the ball, not that he didn't get the line to gain.
Right. He didn't even challenge the split.
At that point, John Hussey comes running over, and John Hussey should have said to him, I might have mentioned this, the Supreme Court in our metaphor has ruled in New York. He caught the ball. He got the line to gain. There is nothing to challenge.
Right.
There's nothing to challenge. Play ball. That's perfectly within Hussey's right as the referee. In fact, if not
done a million times,
if not his duty in that moment to say, they've ruled on this, brother. They've ruled it's a first down. Instead, he does the opposite worst thing, which is he's chuckling. I see him smiling with Dan Campbell. Okay. We're now going
it's
to
almost
review.
like they revel in this. We got another way to look at this. So let's get back into the courtroom and let's adjudicate this even more. Like nobody wants to see that. No, and there's never an urgency to get on with the fucking game. There's always this, yes, this, you know why? Because they're all fucking lawyers. And they're all like, oh, yes.
The refs in the league.
Yes. Let's go grab a book off the shelf. Let's go through 17.49. You're right. You can challenge. They get off on this. All due respect to lawyers. They get off on this. It has no place in a football game.
JP is rolling here and not taking into account I'm on a little sleep, and I might have mentioned I've already had enough Advil to kill an elephant. All right. So I'm not disagreeing with the passion. All right, so back to it. We need to make mention right here. This did not cost them the game. You're not saying that.
Yes,
I'm not. It did not cost them the game. It's 21-9 at that point. All right, let's pick back up with we're going to let them challenge. So at that point, what are we doing in the modern TV? We're going to a 2.5-minute commercial.
Right.
All right. So John Hussey goes over now to the headset for the challenge, and the challenge again is, I guess, supposed to be the replay official and him. You cannot convince me that this is not still New York.
Of course it is.
At this point.
Yeah.
And they clearly look at it in 30 seconds. He's got possession of the ball. It's not a matter now on the challenge of he didn't possess the ball. He did. So John Hussey announces during the commercial, turns the microphone on. After review, the receiver does have possession of the ball. It is a first down. Detroit loses their challenge and a timeout. I'm like, bravo. Let's get out of the commercial and go run a play. Oh, but wait. Now about 20 seconds later, I'm looking again at the little portable TV next to me that they have around Laura Rutledge, and ESPN is showing in the commercial the freeze shot that you see when they come out of the commercial of Otten's knee down, and has that ball made the line to gain or not. Here's a quick interjection. What happened also to the virtual review? What happened to the virtual?
I brought that up.
Game? Okay, thank you.
They never spotted the ball and did the virtual measurement.
Spotted it and never did the virtual review that they've always talked about either.
Yep.
He now gets called, and this is where the replay official, the head of vice president of replay command center, says they could not get in communication with Hussey in his ear standing there, and they're calling him back over to come over simply to communicate with him again, not to let him look at the call, but just to communicate with him. It's not a first down. It's the Lions' ball. Here's the time on the clock. Switch the down marker. That's what they're telling him over there. Again, you had two things that in my mind should not have happened on that play. The challenge shouldn't have been allowed. And then after they've already ruled it is a catch and it is a first down, we should not be subjected, the Buccaneers as the visiting team, to waiting another 3 or 4 minutes for ESPN to find another angle by their own delays and whatever to help the home team there. And again, I said to Todd Bowles after the game, what was the explanation? and I know he talked about this on the podium, and I think he talked about it again this morning. The only thing we can go on is they came back to us and said, we got another look. Our problem is they already ruled on it from New York. Play ball. Go ahead and don't let the other stuff happen.
And what about the fact that he challenged the catch, not the spot?
And the replay,
you can't go back and look at everything.
In the Q&A with the pool reporter, the cop-out answer was, yes, we do look at everything again when there's a challenge.
No, they don't. But you can't go back and look at, because there's holding on the other side of the field.
I know.
I mean, it's just, I hate that we even talk about this.
Well, but there's the explanation. I'm giving you cutting edge.
No, and it's interesting because he made that announcement but it wasn't on TV. So we never heard that announcement, by the way. Before they flipped it around, we never heard him. Because that would have had an impact to the audience going, oh, well, wait, he just announced. Now we're announcing again? Like this is the third announcement, third announcement on the ruling of this call.
Again, it was part of what was a long, weird second half and fourth quarter where we have reviews, we have injuries, we have fourth down conversions. We have an 18-play Buccaneer drive where you're still standing there going, there's 7 minutes left in the game. There's 3 timeouts left. And as poorly as Baker has thrown the ball a couple of times with open receivers, just get one in the end zone and get some momentum back. And you got all your timeouts on the 2-minute warning. And again, the officials did not beat you last night. He has Tez Johnson open in the right corner of the end zone, and he misses it.
Wide open.
He has a Mecca Abuka down the middle open, and
open a couple of times.
At this point, he didn't get anything on the ball. At this point, he was clearly hobbled, whether it's his knee, his foot, whatever. Somebody told me, and I have not seen this, I have not verified. Apparently, a lion may have messed with his leg on the bottom of one of those piles when they were tackling him, hitting him out of the play. And if they did that, if that is a dirty thing that they did, that now explains to me more why he went volcanic eruption on John Hussey at the end of the game on not protecting.
No, there was. I saw it underneath the pile. I saw the same exact thing. Yeah. It was. I think it was long-haired Anzalone. I think
twisting at his legs. So we can go back and look at that again. You had chances even after the Otten stuff. You didn't make the throws. You didn't make the plays. The Lions are really good. Maybe you'll see that team again in the postseason.
All that, but it doesn't discount the fact that the NFL has really turned this game, and I think it's a huge issue. To some of the other, and here's another thing, and I hate to harp on the officiating, but it goes to what you can tell us. So early in the game, I think it was Jamel Dean brushed across the face of somebody, and they kept showing it up on the Jumbotron, and the crowd was going bananas, like it should have been a face mask, and there was another penalty on the line.
Doesn't matter. Not reviewable.
Yeah. But it also showed that he grazed. It was Winfield. It also showed that he never grabbed. He just went across, and he may not have even touched it.
The crowd in that moment's going crazy, like they can go review that. They can't review that.
So it creates. But my point is, did it create an atmosphere where the officials were afraid to make a call against the Lions?
I didn't sense that. I wouldn't say that because they called other things against them as the game went on.
Yeah, but the whole ref you suck thing was going on.
That goes on in stadiums, including at Raymond James Stadium. And I think they were having a little bit of a rough time with some of the bang stuff. But ultimately, I'm going to keep coming back to you had chances after that with a lot of time left, and you didn't get it done. So that leads us now to this week, and you cannot let last night beat you twice.
Right.
This is the encouragement. All right. This is the truth, kids. You're playing a team that is about 3 levels down from Detroit. This is one of the 1 or 2 worst teams in the NFL, the Saints. You got to take it seriously. You got to be on point.
Oh, hell yeah.
But they are bad. If you demoralize them, if you score on them, you're going to do what everybody else has done to them. Now, they've hung in games, but they're bad. So this is now incumbent on the veterans in the Buccaneer locker room. Be on point this whole week. Solid in practice later in the week, Thursday, Friday walkthrough, whatever you're doing, and be ready to go in the Superdome. And I don't care if this is 9-6 on Sunday as we push ahead. Win the game, and you're 6-2, and you're great. You're not just good, you're great
at the
back half of the season out of the bye, because you've stockpiled a bunch of wins that are going to help you in December and January get to a 10th win, an 11th win, a 12th win if you can get there. So you got to take care of business. You got to refocus. Get Baker a little healthier. Let's see if Bucky Irving can play. That will make a difference. You've missed his explosiveness. Rashad White
Big
is
time.
solid, but he's not nearly as explosive in turning a 3 to 5 yard play into a 30, 40, or 50 yard play. And you saw that with Jahmyr Gibbs, and you see it with other backs in the NFL. When you've got the extra gear and the stop start, it's a big dimension. Can Bucky play this week? We don't know. Buccaneers are healthier in the secondary now. That will help. You got to dial up the pass rush on Spencer Rattler. I haven't seen this. Might New Orleans go to Tyler Shuck, the former Louisville quarterback, the third-round pick that they drafted? Might they go to him? Because Spencer Rattler's clearly not your future. Do they wait? Do they keep going with Spencer Rattler? We don't know. And the Saints are banged up too. So now your focus is get ready to go play New Orleans, win that division game, get to 6-2, get into the bye, and now you're in great shape. Because let's don't revise history. How many people looked at the beginning of this schedule and said 6-2?
Oh no, I had them at 4-4.
4-4 was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Some people might have even said 3-5 if you're going to have a down year. 6 wins is going to be large when you get later in December.
Huge.
And in early January. So we look for the positives. I'm here selling some optimism on a Tuesday.
There was a lot of, they got more turnovers last night.
Yes.
They
got
played well.
Jared Goff with sacks. At times he was rattled.
Yep.
They did some things well.
Dean caught another one.
Correct.
Dean caught another one.
Correct. He's building confidence.
Yep.
Again, Yaya Diaby's got to dial it up. You got to see something from Chris Braswell. I got to believe coming here. You got to get some outside rush going.
That ain't coming.
We
kind of kicked around the idea. Timmy brought it up. Max Crosby.
He costs too much, my friend. He costs like
28
million.
28 years old, 35 million. And
then
they don't have the cap room.
And then 29. Yeah, it goes down.
They will next year.
You can look at Hendrickson. You can look at trades for a pass rusher. Maybe you look at a linebacker. I know there's some criticism of that now, that you need another veteran linebacker to come in.
Yeah,
we'll see. In Jason Light, we trust on this.
Absolutely.
Because you've reloaded in off seasons, and you've even been able to make some moves. Let's see what they're able to do. So, again, we'll put this one to bed. I'm working on the Nothing But Bucs podcast. It'll be out a little later this afternoon.
Always a great
and then we'll put the Lions game to bed. It's over with, obviously, and you've got to get ready to go win this game in New Orleans. Take advantage of a crippled, bad team however you can. Don't let them hang around. Don't let them have a chance to beat you. You don't want to be regretting losing back-to-back games before the bye, with the second game being the Saints. It's one thing if you lose to a good team like Detroit or a really good team. So
one last question that you can answer because you were there. A lot of people in the comments were asking about the turf in Detroit. Is it harder? Is it slipperier? Got a lot of guys were slipping.
One to speak to it. All right. Dave Moore played on these field turf, artificial turfs. He played on the fuzzy concrete. And then obviously this is now field turf in the modern. He said last night, it seemed like a little, quote, longer grass to me. And he said, therefore, I would use the 7-stud cleats for better grip on the field. The only thing I can say, I don't play. I've never been a player. It is incumbent on the visiting players, or even we've seen the Buccaneers slipping around on the Raymond James Stadium field the last couple of games.
Week. Yeah,
it is incumbent on you to get out there with your cleats an hour and a half, an hour before the game, and go full speed cutting and find out, okay, are my feet coming out from under me? And go change your shoes, change your cleats, do what you have to do. But he was saying that on the air last night that he observed it was a little longer, but you didn't see the Lions slipping around on a lot of plays.
They've got it down. Yeah. Interesting.
So again, it's a valid criticism that you got to be better. Like back in the day, shall we quote Nike and Mars Blackman and Michael Jordan? It's got to be the shoes.
It's got to be the shoes, homie.
The shoes. All right.
Maybe in all fairness, I'm not sure Bucky Irving could have saved this. They ran the ball 12 times, TJ. Even
they never stuck with the run game. Really in the third and the early fourth quarter. You still had a ton of time left to try to get the run going. Credit the Lions again, but maybe Bucky will make a difference. A 75% Bucky will be explosive enough on a play or two to make a difference, much less if you get him 100% or close to it,
right,
to be explosive to make some plays. So you got some optimism.
Hopefully it was a learning experience too for Josh Grizzard on the play calling side.
Oh, absolutely. all of it. And again, we might have mentioned this at the top of the conversation. Detroit is really good. They have a lot of players. And if you're not on point, you're not going to beat them at their place. Yeah. So stay tuned. Maybe you get another look at that team in the postseason. We shall see. Anything else, my friend? Are we good?
That's good. That's good. Thank you for your time. Thank you for waking up. And you should probably go back to bed.
That'll be probably later tonight.
When
we
does
got the
Nothing But Bucs come out?
Nothing But Bucs will be out probably in a couple of hours on the timeline. Right. Stand by with all the Gene highlight calls. I got the interviews after the game, including with Todd Bowles, the whole bit. Again, great Buccaneer post-game recap. Buccaneers mobile app.
When you send
we will send that out, my friend. By the way, we have this later in the week. Divided household, Mrs. Reeves against this in the River City.
Boys
Let me
screwed up the whole college game day by losing to UAB. What the F?
Yeah, please, I know. They fired Trent Dilfer and they play their Super Bowl against Memphis. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. Let's see what Memphis and USF looks like on Saturday from the River City. I have to watch that. I don't get to watch that in seclusion. I got to watch that on the Buccaneer plane while we're flying to New Orleans. Happy times if it starts going bad for the Tigers. You don't think I'm going to get some grief?
Apparently, Trent Dilfer's still having problems with that collarbone.
Go Bulls. Go Bulls. Go Bulls.
All right, Mrs. Reeves, back
Love
to you,
brother.
On that as well. You guys be well. Always good to be with you.
All right. Thank you, TJ. I will look for that podcast today. Let's take a quick break and come back and finish up with all the comments. We shall do that.
No Bulls audio, huh?
Yeah, I guess
play tomorrow. We play tomorrow.
Okay. I want to give more love to our listeners.
Yeah,
we have so many comments, so I'd like to feature them.
As long as they're intelligent.
Cafe Paradiso is where you need to go. We had another listener go there for his anniversary and had a wonderful, wonderful meal. So not only for special occasions, you would just want a good meal at a great price, great service. You know, how many times you go out to dinner and you get the bill and you're like, the service sucked. You know, the food wasn't that great. We should have just stayed home. Never when you go to Cafe Paradiso. Never. Because the food is fantastic. The service is great. And the prices are reasonable. You know, for what you get today, the prices are very reasonable. And great wine selection. Can't beat it. Cafe Paradiso, number 3 on the open table list for a reason. Get a reservation on open table or just show up. Cafe Paradiso on South McDill and tell them JP sent you and you need to go right to the front of the line. That's how it works. Cafe Paradiso. Back at 3. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. that could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
A big thanks to Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, especially Stuart Levine, our good friend over there, who was a huge Bucs fan and text me some of the craziest stuff that you would ever, because he is so passionate. I want someone passionate representing me, and that's passion. If he represents you, and he will, like he loves the Bucs, you're a winner. You're going to win. The other team will run away. The other team will run away. They will not want to deal with this dude. You want him on your side. So, yeah, give him a call over there at the Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, and ask for Stu and say, go Bucs. And thank you for supporting my favorite sports show. All right, let's, I got a super chat. Paying for an appetizer for lunch, $4.99. I know we can't even get the $4.99 appetizer anymore. Jimmy J. Voyager says, are there any new stadium updates, location, etc.? Also any trades, free agent rumors for the Rays? Now, I think, they don't let them break news during the World Series and late playoffs. But there's works going on. Trust me on this. I do know that the new owners are very much at work, and I've reached out to them for some stuff, and they're like, listen, we don't want to really do a whole lot of interviews right now. We just want to get to work. So without betraying any of their confidence, they're just like,
so they hate the fans. Is that what you're saying? Somebody's going to say that. They don't care about the fans, JP.
No, they very much care about the fans. They're doing a lot of work. And by the way, they did put out their new season ticket plans that are out with significant price reductions in a lot of areas. The new Rays Club, which used to be like $195, $250, is going to be $125 a ticket. Significant. And that's with the food, the drinks, the Rays Club. So yeah, significant discounts, lower level tickets, much lower. So that's their first move. That hasn't got a lot of play, but it will here. So lower prices. How do you like that? They're very intent on getting more people in the building. The team has never marketed correctly because Stu didn't want to. That was not his deal. Also, I wanted to hit Florida State real quick. I know we're up against the time. We can go a little bit longer because I talked to some folks, and Michael Alford, the AD, came out on Monday, and basically said Mike's going to be the coach here for the rest of the year, and we're going to evaluate at the end of the year. And everybody took that to like, oh, my God, Alford doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Jesus, how do you not fire this guy right now? He's got to go. He knows that. Mike Norvell is no longer going to be the coach here. There's nothing that Mike can do to save his job. Well, you run the table and beat Florida by 60, maybe, but that ain't happening, as we all know. You can't beat Stanford. You can't be at a beat up Stanford team. You suck. You're awful. They know it. He's not going to be the coach here. Now, if they keep him through the season, they can save significant money. I don't know what that number is exactly. I've been told $10 to $15 million. If you keep,
matters.
Yeah, if you keep him and the staff, you got to remember the staff as well. That's less buyouts for everybody. And I've been told that you could save $10 to $15 million. I don't know exactly if that's true, but obviously you can save significant amounts of money, especially when your coach makes $9 million a year, or maybe I think he makes $11 million a year. So you can save significant money if you wait. If you fire him, and by the way, you don't have to wait to start filling his position. You can start talking to anybody you want to talk to and start filling. And if you don't think Mike Alford's doing that, you don't know what's going on. Trust me. He can't say it publicly. Publicly you have to, like Scott Strickland told ESPN or told the SEC network, told Dave Neal that there was no meeting of boosters to fire Billy Napier. That did not happen. And Dave's just reporting what he's told. He has to ask the question. He has to get it in. And Scott Strickland said, no, none of that happened. They win the game and he's fired. Of course it happened. Of course it happened. He lied to everybody because that's what you have to do. You have a game to play. You're not going to fire the coach right before the game and say, go coach the game. You have to, this is all a political game. It's all you got to, it's like having a press conference before the draft with the GM.
Yeah.
Come on. It's lying season. And Michael Alford is not sitting here thinking, okay, we're going to keep Mike Norvell. No, I don't believe that. I don't know that. He has not told me that personally, but I don't believe it. I know Michael Alford, and he's not an idiot. And I know a lot, and I've spoken to some big money people that support this program, and Mike is done. He's done. So,
by the way, immediately after the JP Peterson show, you can go to fanstreamsports.com and get a taste of this little piece of work right here. If you are truly interested in this topic.
Well, you're going to have to update it with my quotes, okay? Because Mike is not. He's done. And this is the old public vote of confidence, but he's done. And they're working on what's next. So if you can follow, and I, my good friend Rick Ballou at 1010XL, we have him on the show all the time. He posted something last night, and I love Rick like a brother. We worked together at Doc's Sports Bar, and I just disagreed with him because he was going after Alford and saying that, how did he let Sexton take advantage of him with this ridiculous buyout? Come on now, bro. That's the way we all know these ADs have no leverage whatsoever. If you have a 13-0 season and Alabama's coming after your coach with all guns a-blazing, you got it. And Sexton is working that angle with his other client, DeBoer. So I think Norvell was Alabama's first choice. I have a lot of information that confirms that, but I don't know for sure. I know
Norvell
this.
Wishes that he went.
I know this, that Sexton made everybody believe that Alabama wanted him. So what choice do you have? You're going to fire you're going to let your coach go or take the risk of losing your coach that just took you to 13-0? Then you really look like an idiot. So number one, he had no leverage over that contract. You got to take what they just go look at everybody, all these other Sexton contracts, Jimbo Fisher's, all of them. It's the same shit. They've got no leverage. So I don't know how you can blame him for that. You wanted to blame him for the Orange Bowl debacle. Well, I'm sorry. Your coach has to rally the troops. What's an AD going to do about that? Your coach is the one who has to go to the players and say, look, they screwed us. Now let's go beat Georgia. Let's everybody get on board. Nobody wanted to do it because they didn't trust the coach. They weren't loyal to him. And yesterday, a couple of former players wrote on Twitter about how Norvell, and I've talked about this over the years, how Norvell would go out and get these transfers to come in and move them right ahead of the depth chart the guys that have already been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
How do you build loyalty on a team when Lawrence Toafili has busted his ass through all the shit and taken a ton of abuse, and you bring in Roydell Williams and put him right atop the depth chart, make him number one? Same with DJ. You bring in DJ and you recruited Brock, and you recruited who was there for you when Jordan Travis went down and took all the hits. I'm not saying Brock was great, but he wasn't any worse than DJ Uyunga lay down. I mean, and you do this time and time again. You build no loyalty from. If you're not loyal to your players, how do you expect them to be loyal back to you? They're not going to play for you in the Orange Bowl. They don't trust you. And he wanted to blame Alford for Mike not having to stand up at the podium and tell everybody what happened on his black eye. Your athletic director has to tell your coach that? To me, that was the last straw. You're a buffoon, Mike Norvell. At this point, you're a buffoon and a charlatan. And he's not going to be the coach of Florida State. So if all you folks that are going crazy over Mike Alford, who just completed that stadium renovation, which is kick ass, and got the football facility built as well. And I know all this stuff was in the works, but he's been the guy that's got it paid for and done all the legwork for the facilities. And I think all this Mike Alford doesn't know what the hell he's doing talk. I disagree. I know the results aren't what you guys want right now. And all these things you're pointing at, I think you're misguided. I don't think Alford needs to go as well. I think Alford's doing a hell of a job. And he's going to pick the next coach. And we'll see where it goes. I'm not saying it's going to be a home run hire. Who knows who to hire at this point? But I know this. I don't know this, but I've been told by a very, very good source, and I haven't corroborated it yet, so I'm just going to tell you this, that there could be a naming rights press conference coming soon. And if it might involve another group of Seminoles. Let's just put it that way. And the new Nike deal may be on the way as well. All of this done by Mike Alford. Create revenue. He also was the one that spearheaded the lawsuit, which was very unpopular, but the right thing to do. A 100% right thing to do, and he had the balls to do it and see it through. So go up against all of his brethren, all of his AD buddies in that conference. You think that was easy to do? You think that was easy to do? No, but it was the right thing to do. It was the absolute right thing to do for Florida State University. So piling on A.D. Alford, I think, is really misguided right now. Totally misguided. I think he's doing a hell of a job. And if he finds the right guy, listen, I would go hire James Franklin tomorrow and just say Mike's going to coach the rest of the season and you save the money, whatever it is, and then move forward with James Franklin. I think that would be, I don't know. Listen, I know his record against bad teams. Up against great teams. I get it. It took Bobby Bowden 17 years to win his first national championship. 17 years. Okay? So if Franklin is at 53, still learning. Hell, Todd Bowles at 62 is still learning and becoming a better coach. I know this. He's a program builder. He sets a culture. He recruits his ass off. All things Mike Norvell never did. So I don't know all the other guys that are Drinkwitz. I like him. There's a few guys out there. Campbell at Iowa State, love him. I don't think you're getting any of those guys, but if you can get James Franklin, go get him.
I hear Kentucky might move on from Mike Stoops.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Mike or Mark. Don't like either one of them. No. So listen, let's calm down on all that nonsense. All right, that went on a lot longer than I wanted it to, Timmy. I'm sorry, but we needed to get that out there. Anything else in the anything else we need to get to in the comments here? Nope. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. And did we forget anything, Timmy?
I don't think so.
Okay. Great job, everybody. Appreciate TJ jumping on. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you. Thank you to all the we need some more. We need 3 hours, bro. We need 3 hours.
I'm game when you are.
All right. We got 2 hours tomorrow though. So we'll get to all your thoughts and on the Bucs. We got days to do that as well before we go to New Orleans. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk some Lightning tomorrow as well. See you then.